To all of our listeners at Scandals of History podcast, the purpose of this podcast is only to entertain people discussing historical and scandalous events and people throughout history, not to offend anyone's religion, personal beliefs, political party, or anything or anyone in that manner. Thank you again for listening. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well and keeping yourselves warm. If you don't live in the United States or whatever weather you're experiencing, I hope you guys are feeling healthy, especially as everyone is going on with this pandemic. But most of all, I think it's important that we do address that it is cuffing season right now, meaning that from now until, I don't know, probably, let me look it up. When does cuffing season end? Okay, so hits its climax on February 14th, and then the official end is spring break. So plenty of time to get cuffed this season if you're still single and looking for someone to be with. And even if you're with someone, well, to be honest with you, no one does it better than the popes, the Catholic popes. I don't mean to be making fun of any religion or anything, but no one does it better than them. Before we go on, I should address my partner. He's not available to make it here. He's a bit busy right now, as you all are during this season, but he'll be here for the next episode, I promise. And right now, I think I posted on Instagram. Please follow our Insta page at Scandals of History and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Scandals of History. We are allowing guests to come on the podcast. If we haven't reached back to you, we will soon. Right now, we're creating a contract. It's completely free. We just want to make sure that any legal reasons don't stop you from coming on. And you guys can come on, talk about a scandal you'd like to discuss, or we can talk about a scandal that we'd like to discuss, and we can have your opinion. You can even give a shout out to your Insta page, YouTube channel, or whatever, small business, whatever it may be. So let's get on with the business. The 4 popes that died while having sex. It's going to be an interesting topic.
Now, today's lecture is going to cover a very large expanse.
Wait, stop that. Let's make this less boring.
So you've seen him on the $10 bill, also on Broadway, but that was Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin-Manuel Miranda dressed up as
Say that 5 times fast. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Marilyn Monroe and President Kennedy.
There was like a video of Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, there's a video of her singing Happy Birthday to him.
Yes. Yeah. They definitely did. Yeah.
So let's get started. So let's get on with it. Pope Leo VII. Now, during this time, it wasn't exact rule that you had to be celibate, meaning that you couldn't marry or have sexual relations with anyone. So Pope Leo VII was technically not doing anything wrong, but he did have a girlfriend. I don't know the age of the girlfriend, probably young, and he died of a heart attack while having sex with her. The next pope we have online is Pope John VII, and he was killed by the husband of a woman while he was having sex with that same woman. I'm serious. No one does it better than these popes. Like, really. Like, the biggest players on the planet, and even in history, are the popes. And you can't really get away with that. I mean, honestly, if you had the choice between being an emperor or a king of a kingdom, being the pope was probably the most powerful position in the world to be at in passive history. You could control different empires and even sleep with wives of husbands. Get away with that too. But what exactly happened with Pope John VII was the husband saw him having sex with his wife, and he grabbed a heavy object and repeatedly beat him to death. And I don't know if he beat the woman too. Maybe he will. I think that would say it always. But he was continuously having sex with her, and who knows how many other women he was having sex with. Next up on the list is Pope John the 13th. He was heavily assaulted by the husband of a woman he was having sex with while he was having sex with her. I don't know, maybe these popes like to have a legacy of having sex with people and then having the husband beat them up. It's just, like, you have so much power, so much position, and so much anything. You really want to have sex. I mean, I think we've talked about Pope Alexander VI, who created a brothel in the Vatican. And when you have that much power, you can really get away with anything. But when those husbands are being cuckolded, they eventually get out and start beating you up. The next person we have is Pope Paul II. Most recent one, he was around from 1467, and he died while being sodomized by a page boy. For those of you who don't know, the exact definition of a page boy is like a male page, especially in a hotel or attending a bride. So this is like an assistant. It'd probably be below the age of 15, it has to be. And exactly for Catholic Church, someone who would probably be an assistant, like a small boy who accompanies the Pope, maybe holding his gown at the end of it, or even altar serving at times, but probably someone who will eventually become a priest himself. And Pope Paul II died while being sodomized by a page boy, so it was either anal or oral sex. What the accounts say is that it was oral sex by the boy, and Pope Paul II died while he was being given oral sex. It's disgusting. Like, this is gross. Like, now we can say it because like it's pedophilia. But really beyond that, the Pope Leo VII, Pope John VII, and Pope John XIII. I mean, we just got on TikTok and we posted a video. It got 14,000 views on the first day, which was very impressive. We posted images of the 4 popes that died while having sex, and someone commented, "John XIII can get it." It got 4 likes. Hey, whatever you're interested. I mean, I'm all for you guys. Whatever you're interested, even if there's some good-looking people back in the day, and some of them happened to be a pope. One of the biggest powers a pope had was deciding who would be emperor or king of a kingdom, and even like a territory. They could decide fates of people. Just even they would be there for the crowning ceremony for a king or a queen. And they really controlled the fate of history and the fate of families, especially royal families. And it's pretty interesting how much we've got. Sorry, again, I apologize for not releasing an episode last week, but it's amazing how many people are listening now, following on Instagram, on TikTok, and YouTube. We appreciate that 1 subscriber we have on YouTube. Even if it's 1, it's better than 0. And we honestly would like to give out a huge thank you to all of you for listening to this channel and even for asking questions. Pretty soon we're going to have more of our audience come on the podcast and even shout out whatever Insta page, but even just to get more opinion, you know. Like, I feel like opinions are very overrated, as just people don't want to know your opinion. People want to keep it back. But I think that's the answer to that problem. We need to let more people shout out and give their opinion and learn and be more open-minded. So I'm going to try to keep this podcast as genuine as I can for the rest of my life. I really love doing this. Again, I don't even get paid to do this, but even when I do get there, or even if I ever get there, I just love learning about history. And it's amazing. Somebody just DM'd me on Instagram. A huge shout out to you. That how did I get at the idea for this podcast? And I was just thinking back in the day when I only had people were saying, like, a few of my family members and friends were saying that no one's going to really listen to that. But it's amazing how, you know, I wanted to think of something that would grab people's attention, and I knew that talks about sex or about murders or killing or even conspiracy theories would grab people's attention, but I wanted something original. And Scandals of History, the way I thought about it is that there's so much that's not talked about in class, and I feel like people think history is boring because we learn just about how a king ascended and a war and a battle and exploration happened, and then we got here. But really, it's a story. Like, you know, it's real life, humans being humans, humans having their own flaws, controlling, manipulating, having sex with husbands' wives, and being beaten by their husband while you're having sex with them. What a way to go, by the way. Shout out to you, Pope John VII and Pope John XIII. And it's just astonishing how much you can learn about people in the past. Even President Theodore Roosevelt stated, according to Night at the Museum, one of my favorite movies growing up as a child, was learning about history can help you prepare for the future. And that's what you do, you know. You don't sleep with people's wives. If you do, don't get caught by their husband. And if you do, be caught by their husband while having sex with them. And beyond that, I think we've learned in the past is Marilyn Monroe and President Kennedy definitely did have sex, just from all the evidence we have, even though there's no stronghold of fact that states that there is an affair. And it even shows that when power gives to you, just be careful how you use it, because no matter how many times we've seen people rise to power and fall down due to their own ego, people still keep doing it, and that's the amazing thing about humans. We really are a superior species who are inferior to our own flaws. I think I'm going to cut it. Also, I think we're going to add some more snippets of just like scenes from the podcast. You can listen on YouTube with video. And give us some more ideas if you want to let us talk about something. You don't even have to come on. But it will be great to get more ideas from all of you who are listening. Because this is your podcast too. Like, I don't want this to be like a selfish thing where I control everything. I want you guys to have some control over it. I think the best leaders are the ones who make their audience moves, and I'm not saying like I'm a leader or that you're my audience, but you definitely are my listeners who really should have control and maintain the podcast, and shout out to you. So going on, I think I'm going to add another part to the podcast. It's going to be called Personal Story, or even just like give out some personal stories of mine or anything like that. I mean, I don't care. If you don't want to listen to this part, don't feel it, but we're going to share some personal stories of everything. Like even scandals of history happen to this day, but like I remember sitting with my dad watching the news before we headed out for him to drop me at school, and the news came on that Anthony Weiner had been sending pictures of his genitals, or even just his genitals hidden under his underwear, to some college students and even some other girls while he was married. He came out saying that it wasn't him, and then he later confessed that it was him. So, again, as it is, history tends to repeat itself. It definitely does. I don't know who said it doesn't. But that's just because we're humans. We're imperfect creatures living in an imperfect world, and we're getting on and carrying on with our lives. And that's the thing about history itself, that it's really made all of it by us. We're the ones that made decisions, and not we exactly made the decision to sleep with a person's wife. I'm sorry I keep bringing that joke up. I'm not as funny as the other guy, but I'm going to try to be. And if you want me to hear about my humor, it's very dry humor if you like that. And going on, besides that, you got to remember that humans will be humans, and even in the future there will be same mistakes happening again and again, where people will rise to power and fall by their own ego. I think I'm going to end it with that. I hope you liked our new intro song, and please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Radio Public, Overcast, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Man, that's a mouthful.